Oh, hello.
Hello?
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 Wow.
Hello?
It's time
Oh
for the
goodness.
draw class.
Oh gosh.
Oh, if you make it okay, I'm learning. They put the chat if you make the screen a certain size, the chat moves. That's very fun.
Oh, that is
Um
delightful.
it's this one.
Hello?
Drawfee bonus streaming. Is this the screen? Yeah, I got it. Got it in one.
Woo.
Uh,
Hello?
the
That's how
entire
I answer the phone with
the,
my brother.
the entire stream is just us saying hello.
Yeah, just saying hello as long as I can until he
Um,
gets sick of it.
welcome to Karina teaches anatomy.
Yay. Is the screen up?
It is.
Okay, so we all see how little I've come prepared. I feel bad because I usually have a very structured lesson planned for these things, but not this month. I'm going to wing it this month.
I feel like your preparation is the years you've spent
Yeah.
in various art schools and classes mastering anatomy to the point that it looks so effortless when you draw it.
Thank you. Yeah.
So,
I'm hoping I can really channel my 8 years of art education
yeah, I think
into
that'll
something that makes sense here. I should close that.
I think it'll be very valuable.
This isn't even this isn't even a document that has it's untitled one. That's the energy today.
Jamie, thanks for doing the announcement for the stream.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can vamp for a little bit as people trickle in. We're
Yeah.
at 15 watching right now.
Yeah, we can keep it going. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. President.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? I can show off my Pokemon cards.
Yeah, show them off. They're cool.
I visited my house, my childhood home, for the first time in over a year last weekend, and I brought back my only Pokemon cards that I didn't tell my mom she could give away to her students years ago. These are my dragons, Charizard
Hell
and
yeah.
Dragonite, various Charizards and Dragonites. I also have Dark Dragonite.
Those are cool.
Thank you.
I love stressing myself out by having the live delivery map of the package I'm waiting for open.
Right,
Seeing the cars on my block.
You've got
but it's not
Digimon
here,
cards
and now
coming.
I'm streaming. Yeah, I bought Digimon cards. Because I want to open cards too, but for fun.
So, maybe we'll get some live unboxing of Digimon cards on stream as well.
Yeah, I give up. I give up on trying to teach anatomy off the top of my head, and instead I unbox cards.
We use the Digimon cards to teach anatomy, because every Digimon has perfect anatomy.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Get here when they get here.
Thank you for all the compliments on my Pokemon cards, everybody.
They're sick. I remember those from when I was a kid.
It took me so long to get a holographic Charizard. It's all I wanted for so long, and it took me forever, and I immediately just you can't tell because it's in a little case, but it's in bad condition. It is not mint or near mint condition. It's literally the paper is coming unattached from unattached from and is being held in place by a little piece of tape.
But it's yours.
But it's mine. Yeah, it's better that way because I'd be tempted
I love the Dragonite.
Yeah, he's cute.
Because you'd be tempted to rip it.
I'd be tempted to
Peel it
sell
off
it.
like a
I'd be tempted to sell it if it was like in good enough condition that it'd be worth like money, but it's not. I don't want to scam anyone,
Yeah.
and so I can just hold on to it. Anyway,
but yeah, I just remember the Dragonite one from Beckett Pokemon Collector and being like, what cute card art.
it's good. It's a little rainbow, a little holographic rainbow.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Now that I'm nice and anxious, shall we start?
Anatomy.
Yay!
Beans.
It's bean time. We're going to learn how to draw beans. And by extension, all human anatomy.
All people are made of beans.
And I'm going to make this up on the spot, so I'm sorry if I sound nervous. Everything got away from me this week, so there is no lesson plan.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so anatomy. We all have it.
Who needs it?
It's just like us. For me, the disclaimer, this is all, again, off the top of my head. It's very much how I do things. I don't believe in there being a right and wrong way when it comes to drawing. So I will be using some examples of just like, well, here's one way I see it, but here's how I do it. I think it's going to be a lot of demonstration since I prepared nothing. But yeah, this is just the way that I do it and how I learned it. I'm not hearing dinging. Shut up.
Jacob's sharing that.
Jacob, shut up.
Jacob's sharing that Evangelion hockey.
Trying to talk about beans.
Everyone after this can go watch that Evangelion hockey documentary thing.
But yeah, so one thing
putting on streamer mode. I'm enabling streamer mode, so I have undivided attention.
But I'm just going to close Discord for now. So if there's any questions in the Discord chat, Nathan, let me know.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's all on you.
I'm watching chat.
But okay. So when it comes to anatomy, I personally don't believe it's important to have a medical knowledge of anatomy. I feel like it helps, but that's a lot of work. I couldn't tell you what muscles and bones are named. Every week, at least once a week, Ring Fit's just like, muscle quiz time. What is this one? And I'm like, dude, I don't know.
It's all your lats.
I just want to fight monsters. I don't know what this is.
Every bone is a tibia. Every muscle is a lat.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
If you don't know what everything is called and the exact structure of like your skeleton or your musculature or whatever, I don't think that's a problem. It's whatever. But it is important to have a lot of like observation of bodies. That's why life drawing and figure drawing is so important.
Yeah. And
to kind of just know where things will go essentially just by sight.
Right.
Rather than having like an encyclopedia like knowledge of, you know, this is your sartorius muscle.
This is your fangorius muscle.
Yeah, here's there's some bones that are important. There are some bones that I'm a fan of, but they're also really obvious ones. So it's fun. We'll have fun. We don't know that much about bones here. All we know are beans, bowls, and curves. That's what I'm here to talk about. But before we do that, I would like to just start this off with a little group warm-up, thought warm-up.
Ooh.
Think about something. Yeah, let's get nice and warm. It's already like really humid. And this I was gonna do like on a piece of paper and have a whole show. But again, I didn't prepare shit this week, so we're just gonna like hope for the best. But
this
one
is like
thing,
paper, but easier to see on camera.
there were a lot of times where I was just like, I should buy like some tracing paper and do some overlays and like do all this. And I'm like, could just do that in Photoshop.
You can just do it in
I'm
Photoshop.
Actually fucking stupid.
There's no reason not to. Don't make life harder for yourself.
Yeah, basically. I think I just wanted an excuse to go to the art store. It makes me happy. But one thing I want to start with.
Still go to the art store.
No.
No.
But there's no point in going if I don't need anything. Otherwise, I'll just buy paint for no reason. What I'm getting to is gesture drawing.
Yeah.
As someone who comes from an animation background, I'm all about gestural stuff. I think it's super important, especially when it comes to like drawing the body. Because the body is a really loose thing. It's a very organic collection of shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest warm-up for us as like animators and in general, if you do like drawing workshops and stuff, is to do quick gesture drawings, because it's a good way to like how you say, plot out the pose, like figure it out, get the overall like energy of it, get those like big broad lines and movements in before you actually go in and like fine tune it. And I think one thing that I notice sometimes with like people who have had less practice with like, sorry, I just drank a Pepsi.
A Pespy?
A Peepus.
A Peepus?
So is that people don't draw with like a full range of motion with their body. And I think when it comes to gesture drawing, it's important to be really dynamic about it, because so like if you're just drawing from your wrist, like, you know, it has a bit of a stiffness, a bit of like an uncertainty. So if I want to draw like here's a head, here's the thing,
that's a ribs, that's a pelv,
so whereas if you are more dynamic with your drawing, not only is it faster, but you have a lot more life to it.
Look at that.
If you ever notice yourself like kind of being really still about it, especially when you're still in the opening, like the very beginning stages of a drawing, be sure to kind of like check your own body of just like, am I drawing from my wrist? Am I drawing from my elbow? Am I drawing from my shoulder? Like a lot of exercises I would do in drawing workshops are a lot of like, you're standing, you're moving around. Like it's it really is just like a full body like practice to just, you know, get the energy into your work. And I think when it comes to anatomy and the basis of gesture drawing, like that's just like a really important thing to keep in mind, to just not get like locked into these like small movements. But
I fall into that trap oftentimes.
Be like really move while you're drawing.
Move it.
That's something, like they say, in Madagascar.
Like they say in Madagascar, move it.
Just be able to kind of like cast that whole line rather than just like, you know, being stuck in certain parts. Because if you're only moving your wrist, that's a small range of motion. If you're only moving your elbow, that's a bigger range of motion, but you could also be moving your shoulder.
Whole shoulder.
And God forbid you're like standing and you're just like
draw from your waist.
Do it. There was one drawing exercise I did where it's literally you stand up at the table drawing and you had a partner, and your partner would be blocking the figure. So you just need to be like really observant and really dynamic about it and really fast.
That's cool.
So,
see, stuff like that I feel like I missed out on by not going to art school.
I mean, I didn't get that in art school. I took a drawing class in one of my drawing teacher's garages.
Whoa.
It's just stuff you can do.
Garage class.
It was fun.
Hell yeah.
But yeah. So just, keep in mind your own posture, your own, range of movement when you draw.
Yeah.
Because that'll, if you have a lot of life in yourself when you draw, like if you're really dynamic about it, then that'll transfer into your drawing. So if you're like drawing the body, especially if you're doing like a really dynamic pose or even just like a static pose, but you want it to have kind of a more naturalistic feel to it, like then you just gotta loosen up yourself and go for it.
Get loose.
Yeah. So that's my little warm-up thing of just, hey, remember to check yourself
before you wreck yourself.
Yeah. And don't get too tight, because then, you're only limiting yourself. So just be sure to open up your arm, open up your whole body.
Yeah.
So I wrote some notes and they're not organized, and then I never touched them again. And that was number 1, loosen up. So now that we are all hyper aware of our bodies, let's draw some.
Yeah, start with your own body and then go into the drawing.
Yeah. It's kind of like, when you're drawing an expression and you make the expression.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You got to put that energy into it. So the reason that I start with like gesture drawing, because again, that was a big way that I learned how to do it as an animator. It's just very like, you get a pose, and should pull up some of my poses. Side note, the poses I got for reference for today are all from a CD-ROM that came with one of my pose books called Hyper Muscle Battle. So it'll be that's what we're doing right now. Okay. So if they all look like men ready to fight, it's because that was the theme of the book. So like if you're gonna just kind of like do this, just like do it quickly, like here's the spine, here's this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And it doesn't need to be correct. It just needs to kind of like get the gist of it down.
Yeah, this is a warm-up.
Yeah. So that you just kind of like know
looking
what it's doing.
Looking and feeling out the vibe.
Yeah.
The motion.
Because, as you can already see me doing, like the longer you spend on it, the more detail you get in there. But you start with like the broad gesture of it.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like lock in. Because, say you're doing gesture drawing in like a class setting. Mm-hmm. Maybe you only have 30 seconds and you don't want to just spend 30 seconds like, rendering out this face and getting that all in. That's not important. You want to do the whole thing.
Get the whole thing.
So it's like when my old drawing teacher, whose garage I learned how to draw a lot of stuff in, would say, your drawing is like a baby. You gotta take care and feed the whole thing, or else it will die.
Yeah.
So you don't just draw the head.
You can't just feed your baby's head.
Yeah, you gotta feed the spine.
Yeah.
And the leg. And the other leg.
Yeah, the metaphor maybe falls apart, but it's still.
But you get the idea.
But you remember it.
Yeah, you remember it because you're like, that's pretty brutal, Mr. J.
Yeah.
But but it sticks with you.
Yeah.
So when you're doing like a figure drawing and drawing like a body, you want to be able to like really bang out the whole thing and then refine it. Because especially if you're doing gestures and you're being really loose about it, like, again, you're plotting out the whole thing, but it's going to capture the energy as you're doing it, and it'll come out, it'll have that dynamic feel to it rather than just kind of like boxing stuff in.
Yeah, you know where like the
Very
weight is distributed,
meticulously.
you know where like
Yeah.
the energy, there's a lot of like potential energy here.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you're not going to
Yeah.
get that just from like tracing or
Yeah. Cuz
you know.
like for example, you know, he's got like, I mean that's why I'm just like, for me, you kind of start like finding that line. So for of action, so like his spine has like this curve to it, so that's
Right.
like a good place to start. The leg is where it's like very solid. So, and here's a fun leg hack. Leg hacks for legs. This is all you need to do a leg. That curve, this curve.
Yeah.
There. It's a leg. A leg isn't this. It's this. Because you got this. What's this? Your hamstring. Boink. And this, whatever that is, on top of your thigh, the top of your thigh. Yeah. And that's how you do it. So not so like this, it reads as a leg, but if you want to have like that kind of natural look, then you got to add those curves.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just, you got to find where those actiony lines are, and then that will, you can kind of see already like I love drawing bodies. But yeah, so when you're just kind of plotting out the pose, especially if you have reference, just kind of like do it real quick and then build upon it. So that's why I think gesture drawing is like a really important first step, because what's some of this shit I wrote down? Because when you have like this sort of like gestural energy sort of thing, if you combine that with kind of just breaking down the basic shapes of the body, then you'll never need to know what a skeleton looks like, because you'll have this shorthand for a skeleton, essentially.
Because it's the skeleton and the muscles that you really, it's like you need both.
Yeah. But,
the way the
like
muscles interlock and all that stuff.
Yeah. So you just kind of need to figure out the bare minimum of stuff, and then you'll never have to know all the really complicated stuff, because if you just combine gesture with like a little bit of structure, then you got it. You figured it out. So I'm a do a little bit of breakdown of this guy. So let me turn this down. So on top of gesture, you got to know like how to break the body down into shape. And something I see a lot of people do is like the box kind of thing, kind of like this.
Yeah.
It's like that's the spine. Here's the head, shoulder here. And like this is fine, because it'll tell you exactly where everything goes, sort of thing, like same thing. But it does have a bit of a rigid feel to it, like your torso is not a box.
It's more bendy.
Yeah. So it does kind of like squash the very natural dynamic complexity of your skeleton plus muscles.
I remember I did that a
everything
lot
else
when I like first started at College Humor. I'd like make my characters real boxy.
And I mean, that's fine if that's like a stylistic choice. Like, again,
wasn't.
there's no right and wrong way to do these things. Like, however you want to break it down. Because what's that one drawing guy, the little thing that everyone has at one point in their life? It's kind of like this.
But I mean, even just the fact that in this version you've separated the torso from the pelvis, like already like gives it more sort of like but even still, like you can get more out of your shapes. To me,
the shorthand that I like is rib cage, pelvis, your balls, because, and then the spine runs around there.
Mm-hmm.
That's your bean, baby. It's bean time.
Beans, bowls.
Beans, you got your bowls.
Battlestar Galactica.
Which way is this beans? Yeah. Because your torso is less of a box and more of a bean.
Yeah.
Because you have like your rib cage, that's kind of the big like upper part of your body, and then you have your pelvis, which holds everything. It's a bowl.
And then it's real bendy in between.
Yeah, and then you have your spine, and it's it's kind of bendy. You don't, because there's not a lot twist. There's not really much bone in between your rib cage and your pelvis, so that part's really flexible, and that's like the curve of the bean. This wasn't a good example. He's not super beanie in this one. What other poses do I have?
It's kind of beanie.
He's got a bit of the bean.
It's a bit of.
I bet I could find a better bean.
It's a lot. Yeah, you can always find a better bean.
Here, let's do this guy.
Oh yeah.
It'd be cool.
That's
It'd be
a great
cool if you were bigger, my dude.
He's reaching for that guy's knee. Please show me your bean.
So like his rib cage is around here.
Yeah.
His pelvis is around here.
Yeah.
Here's your bean.
There's your bean. You got it. Yeah, the spine on this guy is like right down the back.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Forming the silhouette there.
So, just consider if you use like the box as your guide, and maybe you're not always like, or maybe that gives you some trouble when it's like, figuring out a more dynamic pose. Try the bean. We love the bean.
We love the bean here on Drawfee.
Yeah. Because again,
couple of bean heads over here.
Your tummy area is like where the bend is.
Yeah.
So, it's not a box, it's your rib cage and your pelvis. And yeah. And that's like the big basis.
Yeah.
For things, I think.
And even your rib cage is like kind of flexible.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be so that your lungs can expand and contract inside.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
That was like a big thing for me for like going from making characters that had no structure to making characters whose structure was too rigid to like actual lifelike, which is the human body can really stretch and bend in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like it's a very like flexible thing, even just like with skin and stuff. Like I have a tattoo on my wrist. Hey, that's like really hard to show because everything has like turns to it. Like it's so hard to see it. Because everything is just really super complicatedly connected.
Right.
So and that's my gesture for him.
Yeah.
It's that net.
That leg hack is real. I'm gonna steal that.
The leg hack is life changing.
Yeah.
Literally just boom, boom. It's a leg, baby.
That's a leg.
Because then you just put in all the stuff. Boom. It's a leg.
Yeah.
Because, that's your thigh and that's your little hamstring.
Yeah.
And then, you got a little ankle here, got like a knee, got the back. Boom.
Boom.
Legs.
Boom legs.
We love a good leg hack. It's so fun. But yeah. So just do your beans. Cause say what's a pose? Nathan, name an action.
An action? Dunking.
Dunking. Okay. So
is that okay?
Yeah. Say okay. So like, start with the rib cage.
Yeah.
Let's say you want it to be like really, really
POV,
stretchy.
we're getting dunked on.
Yeah. Here's your pelvis. So there's your bean.
There's your bean. You got it. Already got the bean.
Let's just say that the arm goes up there.
Yeah.
the basketball.
Yeah.
is up
off
there.
Screen.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like that.
There you go.
There's your dunk.
Beautiful.
And if you want to do like, slouching, got your rib cage. Here's your bee.
There's your bean. Aww, that guy just got dunked on. Now he's sad.
Post dunked on.
Yeah.
So sad.
I need to be better at defense. Gotta go back and watch some tape.
And these are all really messy drawings because I didn't prepare anything.
This is
but
just the gesture part. This is the beginning stage.
When it comes to like doing gesture, just it doesn't have to look great.
You can clean it up later.
Yeah, like that's not the point.
You're laying down the whole energy of the piece.
Yeah, you're just like plotting it out.
Yeah.
Again, this is like the foundation of it. You got to have a good foundation to build a house, baby. A little baby house. Yeah, so but yeah, if you're just like practicing drawing bodies, like, and you want to just like bang out a ton of gestures, just make it look like shit. It doesn't matter, because as long as you're like observing and getting it down, just it's not gonna look really nice and polished, but it's not supposed to, because we're not at that step yet.
I have a question from chat.
Ish.
You have a way of making your forms immediately feel as if they're in 3D space. Do you have any suggestions on how to capture that when drawing a person?
I mean, because you say that like as in based on what these, because it's that's why I think the pelvis and the rib cage are like a good basis point, because
you're drawing it's like the direction you're putting those curves on the bowls inside the bean. So it's like
that's usually the shape I use, and then
a curve is gonna be more pronounced the more depending on your relation to it.
The action line is usually like how I like the spine usually acts as like this action line, and the pelvis is the bowl, and you kind of just treat it like it's carrying like your torso. So
you're just drawing those curves, and if the pelvis was, say, like facing even further down, you would just like make the opening of the bowl bigger.
Because and I mean, part of this is just like practice. Like the more you study and like do figure drawings and like draw by reference, be it picture or like whatever else, you will kind of develop an eye for proportion and how things are like supposed to look in a realistic sense. Whereas again, it's just kind of something you need to practice. So
but I think just like drawing that sort of ellipse shape, and then drawing the front of the rib cage and the spine going through it, just like that circle with like little circle inside of it, just like makes it look 3D, by drawing a bunch of 2D shapes, it becomes 3-dimensional very quickly.
Here's someone looking down on you.
Is there a similar arm hack to the leg hack?
Admittedly, I'm like not as good at drawing arms, because that's hard. The arm have more minute muscle, but the way I usually do it is like you got your shoulder, and there's kind of like a muscle here. So it's just like this, and then because there's a muscle that comes off of that
tricep.
I forget where all the muscles are, but for me it's usually something like this. It's a similar thing of just like, if this curve is going here, then that curve will go
Yeah,
here.
they interlock. Is like
Yeah.
a trap that again I've fallen into in the past. Is just like you just draw like the bubbles, like the bubble
Yeah.
muscles, but like they don't. It's not like
Yeah.
each segment is discrete. It's like the muscles interlock with each other, and it's more of like a
Yeah.
braid almost.
So that's why I bought my little boy Donovan Star Search.
Yeah.
Um because a lot of people were asking about this recently. It's like a little silicone sort of essentially a base for people who make custom like figurines.
Mm.
So I just bought it because there's, it's very articulated
Yeah.
and it has the muscles showing quite well.
Yeah.
So it's just a good guide. It has some stretch to it because of the material. And it's just a good guide if I ever need to check how something looks.
For sure.
But yeah, but this is definitely like my shorthand for arm.
I
It's just a
think
matter of like
yeah.
remembering where thing go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just, cover it with clothes.
Yeah. That's always a good trick is give a real baggy shirt.
Yeah. It's called fashion sweaty. But yeah. It's not as simple as the leg. Legs are just so fun. The arm is more complicated, but in general, your body is kind of like, the third C, curves. A lot of just why did that move? Hello. Hello.
We're back to the start of the stream. Hello.
Where's that other guy?
There he is. There's our friend.
Yeah, there's a lot of just like opposing curves on the body because there's not really there's no real like actual straight line per se on really any body. Like maybe if they're just like very skinny, but as a whole, like, there'll always be these opposing curves. So for example, he's got this and then this.
Right.
So that goes there, that goes there. That's not a good example. So, down here he's got this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the curves sort of lead into each other.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why the leg hack is such like a good shorthand because, you got this and then you got this.
Yeah.
And even with feet,
they're not discrete.
Everything is just, curves.
Everything's curves.
Yeah.
And they're all like
when in doubt, just have things kind of like, flowing opposite of each other.
Yeah.
God, butt
is curved.
Even leg curve into butt.
Leg curve into butt.
Yeah. Yeah. So when in doubt,
curve it out.
Yeah. Just have everything flowing.
Yeah.
Because having these kind of like curves that come in to, so, having it do like this, where it curves in, that looks more fleshy than just that. Because, your skin folds. We all have them.
They're just like us.
They're just like us. But yeah. So don't be afraid to even accentuate those curves a little. Like, especially if you're trying to show muscle, but everything, body move a lot. And there's lots of just ways to really accentuate the form and the fact that it's fleshy, which I think is really good for when you're like,
remember the body
doodling.
fleshy,
got folds, got lots
butt.
of curve. Yeah, he's got a nice butt. He's a fighter.
He's got a fighter's butt. A battle butt.
What the heck is that? But yeah, so just remember, because if you just draw the leg like straight
Like the
line,
tubes.
straight line. I mean, leg can be tube. It's just
not. It's not as interesting.
Yeah, it
It's
just
not
doesn't
as.
have the same
It's not as lifelike.
Life to it as
Again, you can do that. Can be your artistic style if that's what you're going for.
But, yeah, again, it can be a choice. But
if it's not a choice,
but if you ever like look at what you're doing and you're just like it feels stiff or something, just remember the body, so many curves, so much curve. Very rarely are there planes on the body that are just pure like edge straight. You don't have corners per se.
Karina, do you have any tips for drawing foreshortened feet?
That's so specific.
That's just what people in chat are talking about right now.
Okay, chat. Y'all want some feet pics? I probably have one. I mean, in general, like foreshortening difficult. Let me see which one of these is the best for what we're talking about. So this art book is really fun because I haven't shown you like the real gist of why this is called Hyper Muscle Battle. We'll just do this one.
Okay. Oh yeah, those are some feet.
Yeah. So actually let's just keep this zoomed in, whatever. Well, again, it's all about breaking the body down, and that's partially like knowing, just having reference to work off of, but also just having some general knowledge of how things are structured.
Right.
So like for this foot, I think an easy way to break down a foot is kind of like heel, and then whatever this part is called, and then toe. So, and then your ankle is like there.
Yeah.
So,
was it the ball? Again, the ball of your foot is in that zone?
Yeah, whatever it's called. I say this like I didn't play competitive soccer for years. Whatever this.
Whatever that is.
I don't know. Whatever that is.
The heel, the other part, and the toe.
Yeah. So you break it down into these simple shapes, and like here's your. So everything can still be tube. Everything is shape.
Yeah.
It's just it's just not like rigid shapes like a box or something. So in this case, let me look at this again. So you got a bit of like a turn. So like that's the bottom. So there's your bottom. And you can kind of see that there's like some line here. So maybe that's like, I don't like that. I take it back. We're just going to freehand it. So like, foot is tube, leg is tube. So in this case, the leg is going up here, and that'll be kind of like this. Ugh, computer. So yeah, and it tubes. So if you finish these circles, you can see like, maybe that's like the leg. So it's just about breaking it down into like a more structured shape, but still, keeping that fluidity to it that is just like the natural body. So if you're doing like this leg and foot, you're, because foreshortening hard. There's a lot of ways to do foreshortening,
right? And
they're increasingly technical. Like you could do a more like Julia way of doing it, of just
Julia
like
rune.
Like you put it in a box and I don't even wanna, but that's not how I do it. I just hope and pray to all the time I spent in art school. But
it's the sort of thing you'll get more comfortable with the more you practice doing it. Like you'll be able to tell what looks right or not, and you can
which is why it's important to like use reference, do any type of like figure drawing, life drawing things you can, be it a class or just like online things, like whatever those sites are where it'll do like timed poses for you.
Yeah, again, back to the Jacob one, the Jacob Drawclass. Always come back to that one because I feel like it's such a good starting place for just like if you're looking to improve through practice, it's good to have like a frame of reference for how to practice effectively.
Yeah, because the good thing about timed drawing classes like and figure drawing is that depending on how long or short it is, like you have to figure out like what you're drawing fast and kind of like, you know, have where was I going with this? Like you need to be able to figure out what you can focus on to finish the drawing versus like what you want to focus on. So like if I had to draw this like as a finished drawing in like 10 minutes, obviously I wouldn't be like shading or anything, but I'd still want to figure out a way to like show, you know, the form of this, which is, you know, like a tube. So because in this one the pelvis is up here, and we're below it. So yeah, so when it comes to this foot, which I'll do in a different color, it's the same thing as this one. You do the heel accordingly, and then whatever this is,
the other bit.
What do you call the top of your foot? Why can't I remember what the top of the foot is called? It's where you kick the soccer ball.
Foot anatomy.
Like where the laces are.
Arch. Bridge. The bridge is the top, the arch is the bottom.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this one's tricky because it's like he's standing on us. But yeah, I kind of lost the thread with this one. Let's go back a bit.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Yeah, you just need to be able to like break things down, and when in doubt, everything, just do these lines. It'll help you remember the form of everything. But yeah, I don't know. There'll be a point where it's just like, wow, I drew this and it looks stupid, but you know what? That's life, baby. I mean, especially when it comes to foreshortening, and especially if you're not like really, really rendering something like with full value, it's gonna look wonky. So I mean, I didn't like spend that much time on this foot, but like this is essentially like the structure of it, and it looks stupid, but like that's, you know,
that's how it looks from that angle.
I literally traced it from a photo. So,
so
are you going to tell me I'm wrong?
You know, and that's sort of a thing as an artist, you can decide like, okay, I actually don't like the way it looks at that angle. I'm going to change it in my drawing to be at a slightly different angle so that it looks better to me, because the accurate representation is not as visually compelling as maybe something else. It's your drawing. You get to decide how you want to represent it.
I mean, that's what makes foreshortening like so difficult, I think, because if you do it totally correctly, it still might look weird because it's just gonna,
things look weird.
1, 2, 3. Okay, does have the correct amount of toes. That's good.
Guy's not sneaking in any extra toes.
No, not today. Because like even if I just trace this, like that looks weird.
Yeah.
But that's what it looks like. So
yeah.
If you're
Oftentimes things look weird.
Yeah, like there was this one time I was like one of my friend teaches after school at a high school, so I like went in to talk to the students one time and give them some feedback on some of their work. And one girl was trying to draw kind of like you're up here and then here's your body and foot.
Mm-hmm.
And like no matter what she did, she was just like, it doesn't look correct because it's like foreshortened so weirdly. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you did it like correctly based on like a photo or something, then it's correct. It just
looks weird.
It looks weird because foreshortening is really hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially just at a glance, because again, you can just like go at it with like actual genuine perspective. But that's I feel like that's kind of harder to approach for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Including me. So, yeah.
Apparently the foot question wasn't a question. It was just a person. It was just they were just
well, I did it anyway.
They were just talking. Yeah, sorry. If you put something in chat, I might just take it as a talking point because I think it's interesting. It's like I struggle with that too. So I'm interested to see how you solve that.
Is hard. I just want to break this down.
I do have another question from chat for you if you're ready for it.
Yes.
Karina, do you have any ab hacks? You draw them so well.
I don't like drawing abs because they're really complicated. Again, we got reference. Yeah. I really just do use reference for it. It is, that kind of comes down to musculature, and kind of having a gist of it. Sorry, I'm like drawing this guy.
Draw the guy. This guy has no abs showing.
Yeah, abs.
He doesn't want you to see his abs. Yeah. It goes pecs directly into pelvis.
And I drop another like tip that, apropos of nothing.
Drop your tips.
Okay. So another thing that I see people do when they draw the head, or even more specifically, is like this and kind of like that. So my tip is that when you draw the head, use like this line as your eye line.
Yeah.
Because your brow is a better indicator of like position of the head than like the center of the face, which is just like right above the nose.
Yeah.
So that's another tip, just while I'm here. So when you're
make it the brow line
showing that, just it's fun. What was the question?
Pro.
Okay.
Abs.
Okay.
Pro. Very good, Tyler.
So for me, drawing abs. So say we start with our thingy. So like we got our rib cage. This will just be like the front. Very cool that I drew that line 50 times.
You drew it so
another
fast.
Thing, shoulders. Shoulders are the eyebrows of the body. So
whoa.
This one just chilling. Pelvis.
Shoulders are the eyebrows of the body.
Yeah, because you
can raise. You can do the DreamWorks.
Yeah, I'm doing a DreamWorks.
That's a DreamWorks. Wow.
So yeah, shoulders are very expressive. So it's good to also like add in a line to kind of like show, the, attitude of your shoulders. So in this case, we're talking abs. So here's like your basic. Here's your rib cage, top of your bowl, stuff like that. What am I doing? Okay. So when you're drawing some musculature, here's just the gist of how it might be. So you got your pecs, you got your little chest area, and that kind of goes up to where your shoulders are, because everything's connected.
Yep.
This is a bad drawing.
I think it's
But
pretty
yeah,
good.
because those go up to like that little shoulder area.
Yeah, they interlock.
And those go to like your collarbone.
Yeah, that's a part that I always forget about.
Yeah. So that's just a good way to kind of keep everything's just so connected.
Your neck doesn't go straight into your shoulders. There's an extra bit in between.
Yeah, because your shoulders will go to your collarbone.
Yeah.
And then there's like another muscle there, and then it's your neck.
Yes.
So this will be like your chest area. And then, so in this case, we're drawing someone who's just like very cut muscle. So there's kind of this section down here. I don't know the name of any of this stuff because I'm stupid, but because you have like a section right below.
Yeah.
That is like this the start, and then
start line.
Yeah, the start line for your abs, and then like this is your like around your tummy. So like here's your belly button.
Yeah.
And then down here is just kind of like space, and then I'm just like listing things off. I hope this is any bit legible. And then you have like your little what do you call this? Like
I know
you know, because that's where your leg go. Yeah. And then you have that muscle I always forget the name of in Ring Fit. If you're like really cut, you have like it'll show
your side abs.
Have these lines. Yeah, your side abs. Those will go to like your side abs. And then yeah. This did this answer a question?
I think it's a good way to think about it. It's just like you sort
like,
of draw if you're like beehive
very,
inside
if you're like very cut, you got six around your belly button. And then there's kind of like this other one up here, like this one. That'll be the extra. Like if you're very cut, it'll show. If not, it's whatever. Like sometimes it'll look like an 8-pack because like if you're really cut, like this line will be defined still. But yeah, and then it just kind of keeps going down. Yeah.
Strange sounds happening outside.
And it just kind of depends on like how much like fat you have and stuff, like how your body is built. All bodies look different.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but this is just kind of like hypothetically as a very muscular body.
Yeah, I find it's like oftentimes easier to draw like super muscular bodies because like you can just define everything. But yeah, it gets more complicated when it's like because most people are not super cut like this. So like we all have these muscles. They're just oftentimes not as defined and are covered in like fat and other stuff. So
but like
they're still
and
there.
which is why it's just kind of good to have like basis like a knowledge of these things. Because say for example, like here I go again.
This is
off on some tangent.
Can I just say like for me personally, this is very cool to see.
Oh my god, thank you.
So
like this is the pec area, and then that's that part, like this part.
Like I'm always super impressed when you do this just like super fast in Drawfees, just like drawing bodies in space. Like they always have like this second one you've drawn feels like a classic Karina pose. Like there's already so much movement in it.
I mean, because if you just kind of know like this, then you can do anything.
Yeah.
So like this area is, this. So it's going to have like that curve out, like, it'll be segmented accordingly. Right. And then there's your tummy. And then there's like your pelvis area starting, stuff like that. But like if this character isn't really muscular, then their stomach will just kind of flow out a bit.
Yeah.
And then that changes this center line. So like then it's just that. Maybe instead of that, they got a little roll.
And then
so if you just kind of know where the muscles go, then you can just do whatever.
And then like these both seem like sort of masculine forms.
Yeah.
Is there like specific things to look for in like translating this for a more femme shape?
I am of the belief that you can just kind of do whatever.
Yeah.
Gender, am I right?
Yeah.
But if strictly biologically, if you are like for a more femme shape, it's gonna be like fattier.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if you have like breasts, it's kind of just the same thing. So say that's
you're doing great.
Did my package ever come?
Can we take a Digimon break?
No. I'm just curious because it's supposed to rain today. So same thing. Here's that. That's like your pelvis, little pelvis top.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know. I always start with like the same shape, and it's the same thing. Like if it's like if this person is more muscular, like, well, it's we all got muscles in the same places,
right?
So what am I doing? Same deal. Here's your little shoulders. Whatchamacallit?
Collarbone.
Yeah.
I got
you. Yeah. But so if they have breasts, like that's just gonna have like more of a sag to it rather than muscle, because breasts aren't muscle.
Right. Unless you got those muscle breasts.
Yeah.
That are all the rage. Y'all got one of them new muscle breasts?
And I'd say that it for like, again, biologically speaking, a more femme shape. The hips are just bigger.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, and again, these are like generalizations.
Yeah.
They're not like everybody's different. Gender is a construct.
Everyone different. It's just
it's a spectrum.
I feel that like
for
the purpose in a very general sense.
Yeah.
I don't even. This is getting away from me. I forget how to draw hips. Everything's just kind of built the same way. So yeah. And again, that's why I think like focusing on just figuring out things via gesture and breaking things down is important, because if I have like this guy, well, that's not a great example. If I got this guy, but I want to like draw like a femme character, then this guy's really masculine. But if if you just break it down to like boom, 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 boom,
boom, boom,
everything like that can be anyone.
Yeah.
So I think if you're just able to kind of like build whatever, like then you can kind of apply your knowledge to just be like, okay, so they would have like that. You'd have the same. Maybe it really is just kind of all the same.
Yeah,
shit.
It's mostly similar, but yeah, it's just more so than just like male or female or masculine or feminine. It's just like where
the muscle and the fat is.
Yeah, and what you're trying to convey with the form. Like if you're trying to just draw like a more petite character, no matter their gender, like you can just sort of shrink the size of the muscles down. Or if you're trying to draw like a character that's a little bit softer, you can, give them less defined muscles and more sort of fat.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Because again, that's why it's just kind of like break it down to the bare, like skeleton, that.
But like you can have like a jacked lady.
Yeah.
That's allowed.
Here's a real fun drawing that I've done. Let's just add one more. Okay. Cool. I have so many layers open on this, and what has become of any of it? Let's turn this into Hatsune Miku.
Okay. Miku's doing a little reach.
Yeah, because she's a really like petite anime girl. So
and also her head is very big compared to her body.
Why do I have like 5,000 layers? Why am I stupid?
I'm glad that when we're both on a draw class, Miku gets drawn. There she is.
We gotta. Yeah.
I dropped my microphone. Can you give it back to me? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Hatsune Miku.
I need to finish my song.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just once you're kind of able to have that sense of like, okay, so
yeah, you've got the structure.
You can plug anything in.
The details define the character, but like the structure is important to indicate like what they're doing.
Yeah, this is kind of weird. It got kind of weird.
It's good though.
Fix this.
I mean, that's Miku. It's Miku doing a reach.
Yeah. It's one of those dramatic Hatsune Miku songs where she's just like, I'm dying.
Was there a Miku and a Jacob draw class too? Probably. Oh, when we were reviewing the other people's art, someone submitted a Miku and it was very good. Miku is just a good Miku's good.
Yeah.
Use Miku as a reference for all your art and you'll never go wrong.
This was a tough one. I've played myself.
Yeah, you really chose a tough pose.
I feel like I could do this better with a different pose, but you get the gist of it.
It's still good. Yeah.
It's not the same guy, but it's the same pose.
Yeah. Miku dropped her microphone and she needs it back.
Let's just do this one.
Oh. Yeah.
I got 12 million layers open.
Is he
I guess
standing?
they have them like standing on something clear.
Wow. And it doesn't get smudged at all by their feet. Incredible.
Yeah. Let's break this down. So we know that the bowl is here. That's his pelvis. That's
the booty.
That's the butt. You computer, you want to wake up? I'm trying to not look like an idiot.
We're trying to teach the people.
Yeah. So here's that front curve. Here's that back curve. And then here's that. And here's that.
To get good anatomy, draw many Mikus. Got it. Yes. Correct. I think every draw class can basically be summarized by practice drawing Hatsune Miku, and you'll get better at art.
Spine. Here's your rib cage. Here's your shoulder. Let's do that.
There's some real like that's a thing that like I struggle with in drawing forms is like I would be very uncomfortable. Like it's accurate to this pose. You literally can't see either forearm. Like they're both being blocked by like the rest of the arms because of the position, and I would be like not comfortable enough with my own drawing to like leave it that way. I would need to like change the pose so you see the forearms.
I don't know. Sometimes that's kind of a good thing because then you don't have to draw it.
No, it is good, and I think it's really cool when other artists do that. They're just like, yeah, no, you can't see that part of the body, so I'm not going to draw it. I think that's like something I need to get better at. So this is helpful to me to see. It's like, yeah, no, sometimes you don't see.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's what makes foreshortening like so annoying to do, I think, to a lot of people, is that it kind of goes against your expectation of like, but I know that the forearm is supposed to be here.
I'm supposed to draw it. How are the people gonna know? But it works.
What if people like, it's kind of like when you draw a hand and people are like, there's only 4 fingers. Like, yeah, you don't see all 5 of them all the time.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
That's gonna have like a little bit of a
already just like bringing the waist in a little bit and bringing the thighs out or the hips.
Make the legs a little more. Let's do like, I don't know. I always forget which way shoe go. What does foot do?
Again, it's at like sort of a weird angle.
Yeah.
It's like coming back.
I like this pose.
It is a cool pose, yeah.
This is why I like pose books.
Chat was
just show me anything.
Commenting that you said that last pose was bad and then you whipped out this pose, which is, I would argue, more complicated.
Okay, but the thing with the last pose, at least for the example I was trying to do, is that it was such a condensed pose. Like,
that's true.
The body was so folded over that you can't see a ton of it. So like, butt go there. This is my Hatsune Miku upskirt. Just kind of
POV. Hatsune Miku just stepped on you.
Yeah. It's just stuff. Yes, Hatsune Miku.
This is fascinating to watch.
And to draw like these. Wait, does she have boots? No, she has like thigh high. You just got to remember that leg is tube.
Leg is tube.
That's where that line would probably sit. This one is more complicated because the leg is foreshortened super weirdly, but probably be like that. Maybe a little lower. There we go. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when it comes to like draping clothing or like wrapping clothing around a body, just remember like, body is every shape is tube.
Yeah. It's all tubes. Just make sure that the curve of the clothing matches the curve of the limb it's on from whatever perspective you're looking at it from.
Yeah. Hey computer, you want to fucking draw the line, please? Cool. Okay. So for skirt, it's gonna be a bit of an upskirt. Sorry, Hatsune Miku. It's for education.
It's for learning.
Yeah. Well, that's not where that line would go.
An educational upskirt.
We're smart, and we know that it goes more there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Skirt is also tube. When in doubt, everything is a tube.
Everything's a tube. Tubes, bowls, beans. There she goes.
Yeah. she's running. She's running to school. She's late for class.
Oh no, she dropped her toast.
Yeah, so you could do like,
yeah, and you can change the arms.
Have this arm go back. Look, Nathan, it's the forearm. Just for you.
They're showing up. See, you can change it.
Yeah, this will be closer to us, so let's just make that look a little closer. This will be further, so we can do like that. That looks kind of weird. But you know what? All foreshortening looks weird. I forgot which way the thumb goes. It would be on top, obviously, Karina. Where's her toast? This isn't what you expected that man kicking to turn into, was it?
No. But it turns out you can turn a man kicking into Hatsune Miku with just a few tricks.
Yeah. And that's why
art.
Like
that's art, baby.
That's why I buy so many of these pose books, because I'm just like, even if I'm not directly drawing people fighting or other things, I can still, modify this and just use it as like a general reference.
Taking a fighting pose and modifying it for a non-fighting situation just makes that seem so much more dramatic, I feel like, which is like a cool thing that, it's like Nichijou does that a lot with just like it's good for comedy to heighten something. And so if you actually know what the pose would be in like an extreme situation and applying it to a less extreme situation,
she has that like
it's comedy
glove thing, so we can also use the curve of that to show that this is like pointing that direction. And then we can use the curve of this to show that it's pointing this way.
Wow. Karina, this is so good.
So yeah, you can just, I don't know. I feel like this boils down to a lot of it is just study and reference, but if you really get the foundation of it down, you can just go to town and you ink a pose, draw a pose, and then put anyone in it. So
yeah.
E. Okay, what do I do next? Do we have any questions?
Yeah, any more cues, chat?
Yeah. I told you I didn't come prepared.
I honestly, like, everybody has learned so much already. So I think we're doing great. Everyone's just mesmerized by Miku's butt. I can't think of any art questions.
I'm sorry, Miku.
This is the thumbnail.
You simply must. Yeah, you're not going to have a good thumbnail for this episode. I didn't prepare anything.
It'll probably be that opening shot with the beans bowls and curves.
Well, yeah. Let me check if there's anything on the Discord.
Could you do some sort of sitting pose? I have a hard time with those.
Ooh, sure. Do I have anything sitting like to go off of? Not really.
And a while back someone asked for, I must have missed that one, I apologize. Someone asked for any tips on how to convey tension in a muscle in use versus relaxed.
Okay.
So we've got sitting and then muscle in use versus relaxed muscle, which I guess there are a lot of relaxed muscles when you're sitting, so maybe
perfect.
Maybe we can tackle both of those.
Yeah. So let's do some kind of sitting pose. Okay, let's start with a rib cage.
I just keep thinking of Julia's character in the Passion Pose episode. Sadly rocking back and forth. Making the petals blow in the wind.
I mean, what am I doing? Just on the subject of like relaxed versus tense. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. When a muscle is like tensed up and doing stuff, like it's more pumped. Like you'll see it. That's why when, people flex their arms, I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't have my ring fit muscles yet. But, when people kind of like, that's when the muscle pops out.
Yeah.
So, so that's the way to show tension essentially. Like, if you just like, do I have anything? I'm not strong. All my strength is in my legs. If I tense up my legs, like, there'll be parts that kind of like pop.
Do a little bulge.
Yeah.
A bit of a bulge.
Let's do like some. Let's make this a really relaxed sit. So our spine's gonna be doing a bit of like a whoop. Our bean is full bean.
It's a pretty good bean.
Yeah.
It's a classic bean.
Let's just have like so relaxed. Whoa. Stupid package. Where are you? Me staring out my window. Stupid package won't come.
I want my Digimon cards.
My Digimon cards.
All my muscles are so like you see, like these are all pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
So you don't need to draw them all bulging unless this person is like ripped to shreds, fully shredded.
This is just my gentle gesture. So what am I doing? Leg hacks.
There it is.
It's wonderful how easy it is to draw a leg, actually.
Thank you, legs.
We love
being
legs.
Easy to draw.
So where are we sitting? It's like this is the ground. So
sitting on a stoop.
Yeah. Just remember your butt's got fat, presumably. So
it's gonna get squished a little when it's sitting.
Like some squish to it. Yeah. Let's raise this up. That's stupid.
And you can make adjustments as you go, as you realize, like, oop, that wouldn't go there. That's okay.
Yeah.
You change it.
This Drawclass is a lot of demonstration. I hope that it's helping. I'm really not talking through this, am I? But
I think it is.
It's kind of just difficult to like make a pose very relaxed. I kind of don't enjoy doing poses that are completely relaxed. Like if it were just me, I'd be like, hey there, gotta have one arm being like but in fact, yeah, I'm gonna do that because I like it.
Yeah, show the contrast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy, this arm is sort of, he's very tense. He's trying to relax, but he can't fully because his Digimon cards are late.
Why are they so late? Yeah. Is this a sitting pose?
I mean, it's a person sitting.
Whoa. What was the question?
The question was just like any tips for drawing a sitting pose. I mean, it's just like it's the same thing. It's like you've got the bean, you've got our leg tip. Just you put the top of the leg horizontal.
I think when in doubt, just be mindful of, just be observant of people, also of yourself. I'm just like, how do I sit? I sit like a wild person. I'm sitting cross-legged in my rolling chair.
Nice.
Happy Pride. So, but just when in doubt reference. I'm very excited because I also ordered a pose book whenever that arrives of just like people sitting in office chairs. Wow. I'm so excited. Yeah, you can never have too much reference. That's my guess. It's just, when in doubt, draw like someone floating, just do like, just wow, I am.
My Digimon cards arrived and I'm floating.
Yeah,
Yay.
I fucking wish. So maybe they'll have their legs crossed and they'll be like, hee hee hee. And then you can just put them on like a surface.
Wow. I wish that were me.
Yeah, same. But yeah, I think for a matter of tension, let's see. So again, this is a lot of just your energy that you put into it. So actually, let's do our little rib cage and say we want them to be relaxed. Hey, look, it's those pesky eyebrows again.
They match the way the eyebrows would be when you're relaxed. That little
yeah, so
sloping down.
Maybe everything kind of has like this downward thing of it. Everything's just kind of relaxed. Open.
So strong.
I draw a lot of strongs, don't I?
I like it. I think.
I mean, again, if you know how to draw like a muscled body, then you can just reverse engineer that into anything, really.
Yeah, just put
some
if
you
fat
know where,
over them muscles.
Yeah, if you know where the muscles go, then you can just throw some fat on it,
and then make the head bigger or smaller. Yeah, I always have to shrink the head. I draw a whole body and a head, and then I'm like, that head's too big, and then I shrunk it.
So then if you want like to tense up, then you can really like, because like when you tense up, like everything just kind of like
tenses up.
Yeah, like everything has like that pull to it. So even if this person's still just kind of like me waiting for my Digimon cards, but I'm strong.
Right. It's literally like everything, if it's relaxed, it's just the only force working on it is gravity, so it's going to slope down. Whereas if it's tense, you're working against gravity, so it's up. Everything's more up.
Yeah. So it's just like more. I mean, same with leg. What am I doing? I'm like tired. I'm sorry.
You're doing great.
Thank you. I hope I'm dispensing some form of like. Here, let's draw from real life, because I know what my legs look like, and
it's Karina's leg.
There she is,
live on stream.
So let's just say like I'm doing my 1 million squats for Ring Fit. And so like my squatting muscles will come out. So there'll be one here because that's like a big ass muscle.
Yeah.
And then this will like poop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise they just sag.
Yeah.
But when I'm squatting, it's like. But yeah, so maybe that answer question.
I think so. Any tips for older? Let me try that again. Any tips for over-the-shoulder poses? Backs and things are kind of weird.
Yeah, Hi, Donovan. Let's look at your back. I mean, again, I don't know where everything go. So let's get our old boy in here.
Let's get
the rib cage.
Let's get our bowl. Let's get our bean bowl.
Yeah. We love bowls. We love beans. Bowls of beans. Oh, my Digimon cards.
Where are Karina's Digimon cards?
Seriously.
Come on.
I wanna.
Come on. Let Karina have her Digimon cards.
Okay, so here's you back. Where am I going with this? Again, it's kind of just knowing where things go. I'll drop some references, like books that I use and stuff. So when it comes to back, you got this big old line, that's your spine, and that's just like very big line in back, and then come down here to your pelvis. You got your butt. So your cheeks are going to make this little crevice, so you kind of get like this little in your back. Mm-hmm. We love it. We love that.
We love that
part. It's a very cute part to use as facial reference for the entire back. So my shorthand for the back is that you have like these kind of big bone / muscles up here, because like the bone is like that, and then you kind of have like couple little muscles in there. So that's gonna be your shorthand for like back muscle, and it's more complicated than that. It's kind of like weird shapes.
Yeah, you can look up
very complicated
a muscle map of your back and how it works, but again, you're only really interested in sort of how it looks, like for what's pushing up against the skin in such a way that it's necessary to define.
You have to be very, very muscular for your back muscles to show, I think.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this, and then got like your whole thing. There's a bump back here somewhere. I don't know. And then when it comes to like the face, because you have like your collarbone that goes up to your ear, and then it's that, and that goes down to the front. Everything's just connected. And then otherwise, it's kind of just the same shit as the front.
It's almost like all your muscles live in a society.
Oh no, not this. And you just got butt.
And then you got butt. And that's the best part. That's the best part of drawing, is getting to draw butts.
Yeah, it's when in doubt, chat.
It's the whole ball game right there.
Yeah, first of all, as Miku said, do not search up male bareback without turning on safe search. Mm-hmm. Please. Please, if you're ever looking up anatomy reference, be sure to put reference in your search. I'm begging people. Yeah. But also, I mean, one way to think of like your shoulder blades is kind of like wingy. Everything's ultimately the same. It is just kind of like what else should I talk about? I didn't come in prepared. I'm gonna drop some references really quick.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions. So this is a good book. I feel like a lot of people are into this book.
Yeah.
It's Forced Dynamic Life Drawing for Animators. This is a very good book for kind of the method that I subscribe to, of a lot more like breaking things down into curves and beans and bowls.
Some a great lot curves less on that cover.
Yeah, a lot less focus on like, again, a very medical knowledge of anatomy, and more just a more art view of anatomy. If you are interested in kind of learning some of the bones and musculature of the body more formally, This is the book I used in my college anatomy class. It's the Atlas of Human Anatomy for the Artist by Stephen Rogers Peck. This is a very old book and it has a lot of great visual reference, but it does have some outdated language. So I'm telling you now, if this is something you seek out, some of the later chapters are problematic. But there is just like a lot of good reference of the bones and also like the musculature of the body, if that's something that you're into. But yeah, all very good popular books. So oh my god, this book is old as hell, but they totally blurred this guy's Bingus out. But yeah, this is a much more like, very much looking at like actual musculature and skeleton build of like art like that you can use in your drawings rather than like a more stylistic version. But yes. Yeah, what are some other things? Again, if you do like life drawing classes or anything, that's just a very good way to get the practice in of like learning like developing an eye for anatomy and proportion. Didn't really touch that much on proportion.
Yeah, there's something to be said for like drawing, like translating something you're actually looking at in 3D space to drawing versus like a photograph to drawing, just because like if you're sort of slightly moving the entire time, and
as things kind of slowly open up, knock on wood, I do if you have the means to, I do encourage people to like attend life drawing classes and such in whatever area, like if it's like in a art community center or something, like a lot of different places have it, but if you're able to, it's just a really useful thing, just because it is different. But I also don't want to like, oh Jesus Christ, that's my phone.
Is it the Digimon?
Huh? No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's just a scam call from Texas again.
Wow, rude.
But yeah, I know that like not everyone is able to attend classes like that. So if you just do it online, if you just use like a website or something, that's good too.
Yeah.
If you want to just be able to like pick up your gesture, do faster ones. Yeah. Yes, I'm a girl. Yes, my ringtone is Hatsune Miku doing the Nokia tune. Yes, we exist. But yeah, what are some other hacks, anatomy hacks I have up my sleeve? One thing that one of my old drawing teachers taught me is that, I don't know why I'm doing this one from the back too, but I guess I am. When in doubt, long legs.
Right.
Again, all bodies are different, but and there's no,
I always draw the legs too short.
There's no gold standard to like what proportion, like there's proportions, but you don't want to discredit any type of body. Everything's fine.
Yeah, there are all sorts of different body types.
Yeah. If you're just ever in doubt, just make leg longer. Like if you ever feel like you're not sure about the proportion of the character, just
make those legs longen up those legs. What if but long?
Because then, yeah. What other hacks?
Bless you. Emily did a big sneeze.
I heard. Tell her I said bless you.
I will.
Yeah. Are there any more questions and stuff?
Jamie just linked a bunch of good websites for poses. Line of Action, Quick Poses are both very good.
Yeah.
Gesture drawing. There's a bit of a delay, so we'll see.
Yeah.
If there are questions.
Just hecking around.
Just keep drawing stuff. It's cool.
I always
it's
forget
fun
where
to watch.
the hands go, but it's around your thigh. When in doubt, just use yourself as reference. That's what I always do. That's why all my characters have like baby hands.
Oh, here we go. That's a good question. How do you make sense of things like wings or tails being attached to humans? Taking that human anatomy and adding some fantastical elements to it.
I mean, I'm just going to start drawing Dustiel. Okay, buddy. He's here.
Yay! We've been blessed.
Your friend and mine.
We've been blessed by Dest.
He's like human body.
Yeah. He's got a lovely tiger face.
He's evil. Okay, because I think what was I doing? I think when it comes to things that aren't technically there, you can kind of just freewheel it. But you know, if you want to be really particular about it,
are you gonna give Destiel some wings?
Yeah, he's an angel with a shotgun. Because again, you know, you got your spine. These are your little blades. Go in here, and then you kind of have like your little divot for your butt. So my placement would be, and typically is, divot of butt equal tail. Go above the butt, I guess. You know,
tail go above the butt.
That's like spine and then into your pelvis. So that's kind of where your tailbone would be.
Sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Tail up there. And then for wings, I would just follow the blade.
Yeah, I think I saw something on Twitter recently that was like a cool guide to like drawing wings on people.
Yeah. You know, I think they'd fall about there, right?
Yeah. That looks right. And then you're sort of...
Because then they'd follow your shoulders.
Yeah, and you're also sort of drawing arms. You've sort of just drawn like arms going
wings
like
are just
this.
arms.
Yeah, and you just add some feathers. If you look at like the wing bones on birds, this goes back to the animal drawing class. But again, like you can sort of extrapolate animal bits to what their human equivalent would be.
Yeah.
And you can just sort of keep the proportion, you know. If they're more just sort of decorative wings, they can be little, but if you want it
I find that in a very like
beautiful, big, majestic wings,
anatomical sense, this would be like, you know, a safe place to put them.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we do not have wings or tails, so you can kind of just put them anywhere.
You can do what you like. It's your drawing. At the end of the day, it's your drawing. You can do however you want.
Okay, scanning for questions. I find drawing multiple figures in a 3D space feel like they belong together. Like maybe one will look right, but the next one will be flatter. Are there tips for making second body feel rounder when interacting with the first body? Interesting. How put. So
yeah, you're really good at drawing multiple figures interacting.
I'm just trying to think of something off the top of the head, like where figure is.
I guess that's a question I have, just in terms of like your process for that. Are you doing like the gesture drawing of both figures first before you start rendering or like adding details to any one? Like you have the whole sort of scene laid out?
I jump around, but ideally, yes, just have a whole scene laid out.
Because like the weight of like, you know, if one character's sort of like doing like a cool lean on the other one, that's gonna affect sort of the way.
Yeah. Again, you got to feed your whole baby.
It's the whole baby. In this case, your whole baby is two babies.
Yeah. Okay, there's a body. Let's do, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this bodies?
this looks like bodies. I mean, you got your beans.
Yeah.
We got both beans.
Cause I think what am I doing? Who are these people?
It's Destiel and Scoot.
Damn, we Destiel. Okay. I just drew like spicy Destiel and Scoot for Patreon.
So it's fresh in your mind. Doesn't have to be them, but if it makes it fun,
it would be useful if this was, I don't know. What am I doing? The point I'm trying to make is that what I think the question is kind of going for, at least, is how you make it look correct.
Yeah.
Like they're next to each other.
Yeah, like they're next to each other, like they're interacting with each other, and like one isn't more three-dimensional than the other one, which can sometimes happen if you like spend a lot of time on one and then you just
I think a lot of it is just spending enough time on either.
Right. But also I think it is important to like,
this is hard. I just can't think of a pose. Because say, let's just be real frank about it. Say that this is just like two characters. They are naked.
Two naked friends.
Yeah, naked out. Friends. Yeah, they're vaccinated.
They're vaccinated.
They can do that.
They're vaccinated and they're vaccinated.
Thank you, Nathan.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, because again, when it comes to like bodies, they're fleshy.
Yeah, they're gonna do some smushing into each other.
Yeah, I mean, even if you have like the shape, like maybe this one's naked and this one has like a shirt on, so like, you know, there's just gonna be like smushing, and that's something you can do through like line quality, through adding in like those little curves and stuff. Because remember, body equal fleshy.
Yeah, you got that form, that like base structure, but you can make it. Yeah, the outside is not, you know, it's not plastic. It's gonna contort itself depending on what external forces are being applied to it.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm going with this. I feel like this is a difficult example to show without any forethought.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. I feel like I need a better example.
That's okay. Do a better example.
Okay. What are two characters that are doing a thing? Nathan, I need guidance.
I don't know what. What are two characters? Should I just go to your Twitter and like look up an image that you've done recently that
has
two characters doing a thing? Let's see.
I mean, again, I drew some really decent stuff. It is for a Patreon commission, and it's kind of dirty. So
it's a spice again. If you want them spicy commissions, we do them. I have yet to get a spicy commission.
I got 2 this month, and I had the time of my life, but it also like is the reason I didn't prepare anything today.
Now I'm just scrolling through your Twitter, looking at all your good drawings.
Aw, shucks.
Fuck. I mean, you got this one where it's like Destiel climbing sort of over Scoot.
Oh, the one where they're like 69ing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a good one to do? Is that too complicated? Sure. Or here's one where it's just like got his arm around Scoot.
Have these. Okay, here's one. Here's the 69ing one.
Yeah.
Cause I think for this one, I mean, style wise, this is like a very flat image. It's not shaded at all. They're not super touching, except maybe like right around here. And you know, it's those curves.
Yeah.
You just got to show how everything's just kind of wrapping around each other.
Yeah.
I think is part of it. The form of it all, because this leg would be like this. So his head is resting on the leg.
So it's
the hood
forward.
Is kind of draping over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was all planned out because I have foresight. Gosh, what else do I have? I just feel like that's kind of a complicated question, but you know what?
I mean, the answer is just that like you need to think about that in the beginning.
Yeah.
That it is going to be harder to like add a second form after you've already gotten pretty far with the first form. Like you're gonna do yourself a favor by thinking about how the two forms are interacting with each other at the gesture phase of the drawing.
Do not have this as like a PSD. What about classic? Where's all my files?
Oh no.
Boom. Come on. Go on. I know it's a massive drawing.
You can do it,
but I would like if you opened it.
Yeah, there are lots of forms interacting with each other, and it looks great.
Let's get rid of all of it.
And go to the sketch.
Yeah, where are my 1 billion sketches?
Sketches.
Yeah, sketches. Because like for this one, it started from the redlining. So this was essentially my reference from the painting itself. And like this is where a lot of the characters are touching. So yeah, you just have to go in and like, you know, put again.
Yeah, it's gonna the arm's gonna be going back a little. Yeah, it's the tubes
it's resting against it. Everything
you thought
is
about
tube.
The tubes. The tube is going away and then coming back towards us.
Yeah.
It's doing this.
Who else is there? I don't know. They're the main two that are like touching and wrapping around each other. So again, because this was all kind of, you can already see where I had put a rib cage. So that's like down here. So the leg would go up there. Her arm is going backwards in space because she's wrapping it around his. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
you
thought.
I think a lot of
the answer is
just,
think about it.
Yeah, you gotta feed your whole baby.
Yeah, is yeah, and yeah, that's something I struggle with too. It's like, you know, if something is an afterthought, it's gonna look that way in the drawing because it's
Yeah.
not gonna. You already thought out
Like
how
if your
everything.
intention, like, yeah, if you want two characters to look like they fit together, then you need to draw them together,
Yeah.
process wise.
Yeah. You can do it. We believe in you.
Let's see. What else was there?
I saw one about just how to adjust for like proportions of children or teens.
I mean,
Make them smaller.
yeah. I don't know.
You know, it's not that's, you know, the head again, children's, I
Yeah.
guess, heads are bigger in proportion to their body than um adults. And then teens can be anything. That's a, you know, some
Teens, they can be anything.
sometimes you meet a teen and he's 6 feet tall and you're like,
Yeah.
dang.
Who gave you the right?
Yeah. And sometimes it's just a little, it's just like, you're just a little guy. That's okay.
Do I have anything else worth showing?
I'm like a Funko Pop. Isn't JoJo's all right? Yeah, all the JoJo's. Jotaro's 17, and he's the largest man in the world. So
I am very proud of like my one Patreon commission that I thought the anatomy on it was really nice, but it is a little bit spicy.
yeah. And again, that can be yours if you do a spicy commish.
Here,
You only have to do it at 1 month.
Yeah, it's the only way to get like us to draw spicy for you.
Yeah.
Or anything really specifically.
Yeah, if you want commissions, we always get questions about commissions, and it's like,
just cropping
this is the only way to get commissions is through Patreon. And now we get to just look at some Digimon.
Yeah. Okay. You want to see some fun anatomy I did today?
Wow.
I like how this one came out. I kind of snapped. I don't have the sketch layer for it because I got really stressed out and deleted all my sketch layers, so we can break it down. Because like head, go here. The shoulder, the rib cage is completely behind the head. It would help if I overlaid this a little bit. I really thought Photoshop was going to crash for a second there. Today is just, I'm having a real normal one today.
That is what you said when we when I got on the call with you to test audio.
Yeah.
A real normal one.
You know, you got your shoulders. And then because we know where muscle go, we'll know that goes there. A little bit of back peeking into the back there. Body is very foreshortened because he's like leaning forward. So the bull is right here already. Ah. I did a good job on this one. Because you know we got our arm muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then got a little same over here.
I like the way you use like a limited color palette. Like you use just the color. There's like a little bit of color in the stripes and a little bit and then like very bright color in the eyes.
Thank you. I think it's the correct choice.
Yeah.
And because his pelvis is over here, you'll know the leg kind of goes all the way over here.
Yeah.
And then bends back. Same with this leg. Technically, you could see the back of this leg, but I just chose not to draw it. And because of that, you can go up here, get a little bit of butt.
Just a little bit as a treat.
As a treat. Just a hint. So yeah.
This whole class has been a treat. I'm sorry your Photoshop has been frustrating.
No, it's always like that. It's the price of not getting subscription Photoshop. But yeah, and then because his leg is back here, let's switch colors, sure. This leg, because here's like this is and his bowl is right around here. So this leg is going off to the side, resting against this one. This is a horrible color. Why did I do this color?
To contrast. That's a Julia sketch color.
Yeah.
She makes
her
sketches. Like
Julia does it all the time and it looks fine.
To get the
I never do it and it looks stupid. Yeah.
Well, she would be using a brush that's a million times thicker than that.
That's
and it
fair.
Would just be like, and then somehow she takes that and sketches perfect.
Since this leg's like going into the background, like you do the tube. What am I doing?
And the tube is great for the stripes.
Yeah.
You know which direction the stripes?
Tube very indicative. I didn't follow the tube exactly for the stripes, but it is like a great way.
Yeah. They help you know how they're doing.
And the foot's just kind of there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun drawing this one.
And you can too.
Yeah.
Everybody, you can draw your own spicy commissions. It's cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah. It all just comes back to tube. Just break things down. Yeah. Does that make sense? IEK. But yeah, and now it's 5, so
there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's anatomy.
Here's your thumbnail, Nathan.
Oh my god. Don't know about that.
There.
Yeah. Yeah. What's he looking at? We don't know.
Yeah, IDK. Sorry if this wasn't a good example, but
I think it was. Yeah.
You know what? I'm proud of it, so I wanted to show it off a little.
I think that's so valid.
I thought I did really well on it.
Yeah.
I drew this and then I said, yeah, I can wing anatomy class.
Yeah, I always feel weird about, like, I feel like some of the best drawings I've done have been for these commissions, and I'm like, I always feel weird sharing them because they're specifically for the person. So,
I don't typically share them.
The people
unless that person shares
can
them,
share them online, and I'm always like, yeah, I drew that.
You didn't see the full thing.
No, that's just a part.
You just saw the part where I kind of popped off on the anatomy.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show it off a little.
I think that is great.
Thank you. But yeah, so I hope that gave some, at least insight into some anatomy tricks.
Yeah.
Maybe in a future class, I'll prepare a more cohesive version of this lesson with more fleshed out stuff. And maybe we can actually talk about like some actual structure, musculature.
I think this was a great just like intro to a lot of
this
topics.
is my intro to anatomy.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
We've got, we've got to do one of these every month. So there's plenty to cover. We'll
come back to it.
Yeah.
And I'll be prepared next time. Here's hoping.
I think no prepared is still, we learn so much. I learned so much.
A lot of learning is just seeing what other people do and then doing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I haven't been looking at the Discord. I've just been looking at chat. But obviously, like, drop your
Yeah.
If you drew
do
along
some
at all,
gestures.
drop it in the Discord. If you do some gestures after this, drop it in the Discord. I love looking at the Drawclass Discord
I'll be
channel
looking too.
after after a class, because people do good stuff, and it's like makes me feel like I helped that good stuff happen. My big
well, you helped me keep this all on track, so thank you.
My big contribution was Vaccinated, and I think that's
10 out of 10.
That's the energy we should be bringing into the summer.
Yeah.
If you're watching this VOD in the future, you can watch these live by supporting us on Patreon at the learner tier, and then you get to be here live asking the questions and sort of guiding the class and learning in real time. But any amount of support is appreciated, and we appreciate you watching. If
you're not learner class yet, hop in and tell me to do a better anatomy class in the future, and I will.
Yeah, we're always you can always join at like the lowest tier just to get into the Discord, and then we always announce what the class is going to be. You can bump up any month that you feel particularly interested, and then bump back down. Finances are tricky for different people, but we appreciate any support you can give. Thank you so much, everyone. And we're sorry.